Shall I invest in a Cybertron T1000 to reduce my unit costs? Or relocate my production refinery of Vespine gas for higher output capacity? Seems we have some very important strategic operations decisions to make. Hi there, I'm Lawrence Gartside. I'm a management trainer and consultant in business operations through my site rotenstraining.com, helping you and your team to level up your business operations fundamentals. Operations strategy is a big part of operations management. After the operations role has been defined and it's clear how the performance of the organisation will be evaluated, the operations function needs to form its core principles that will guide its overall approach and decision-making. Operations strategy can form an essential part of a business's overall competitive success to stand out from the competition by aiming to excel in certain key areas of importance to customers. In this video, we're going to look at 3 key operations strategy decisions. Operations management is about making a lot of decisions. Some very short term, like rescheduling some jobs because something happened, or moving some people around to different tasks because someone is off sick. Then there's the medium term decisions, like an adjustment to the layout or increasing critical inventory safety stock levels. But usually, first of all, there are some really big long-term decisions that set the strategic direction for the operations of the organisation. The biggest decision of them all is what to do. What are we actually going to do to provide this particular good or service versus buying in or outsourcing it? This might sound silly, but it's not. It's huge. Imagine you run a business selling ice cream. You need to decide what you are actually going to do to provide this product and service. What you are going to make and do versus what are you going to outsource and buy. So are you going to just buy in ice creams and do the selling? Or maybe buy them in but also assemble and customize them with sprinkles and sauce to make sundaes? Or maybe actually make the ice cream yourself? Or start a dairy farm and grow the cows and do the milking and maybe grow the grain to feed the cows? Ice cream is quite simple, but what about a big computer manufacturer, where there are thousands of micro-components that the computer company could try to make or choose to buy in? Choosing what to make versus what to buy is the essence of choosing what your organisation is actually going to do to add value to the world. Some companies do nothing but add a sticker and do some good brand marketing. Some just buy it and sell it in a new location, more convenient to higher paying customers. But for operations-intensive businesses, being selective about what you do is still crucial. The next mega operations strategy decision we'll consider is where to make or do whatever you're going to make or do. There's a lot of different competing factors at play. Some organisations choose to locate next to their source of raw materials. You'll always find a coal power station or a steel factory next to a coal mine or a port, as they, like so many organisations, have chosen to locate next to their raw materials or major suppliers. This especially makes sense for bulk reducing industries, where the quantity of stuff going in is much higher than what comes out. The coal and iron ore weigh much more than the steel bars coming out of the steel plant, for example. And so, minimising the transport distance and cost of the raw materials makes most sense. For other industries, they choose to locate closer to their customers. Especially bulk gaining industries, such as bread baking or beer brewing, where the end products are much bigger than their inputs, and so the outputs are the more expensive thing to transport. Also, finished product lead times to the customer can be very important, especially with the likes of freshly baked bread. Other companies locate because of where they can find the particular labour force they need, either cheap, low-skilled workers in countries far, far away, or a concentration of specific skills such as web developers in Silicon Valley or bankers in the City of London. Usually, where to locate is a complex trade-off of many of these factors and more strategically selecting your operational competitive advantage, be that low transport costs, fast customer delivery, or an easily available workforce. This brings us on to our third operations strategy decision: how to compete. I just said several ways how the deliberate choice of just location can bring an operationally competitive advantage, usually traded off against the loss of another. Low cost, high quality, personalised service, fast delivery, high availability, high variety of options. Customers want all of these. But by definition, in a competitive marketplace, you can't be the best at all of them. Being very good at just one or two of them is usually adequate to be a successful business. A roadside burger van, a McDonald's, or a fancy burger restaurant all fundamentally do the same thing. Take your money and give you food, but it's the different ways they compete that is what defines them. Cost, speed, consistency of product, quality, and more. Choosing what you are going to excel at and compete on is a core operations strategic decision, and probably has to precede the other earlier decisions of what to make/do and where to do it. Sure, some businesses compete and find success by being great at entirely different things and being operationally very average. You can compete through brand and marketing, through superior product technology or shrewd financial management, but operations and operation strategy present a host of operations to define your organisation to your customers and bring competitive advantage to the marketplace. So, what aspect of operational performance does your organisation compete on? Is this explicitly chosen as a deliberate strategic decision? Or do you find that's just what kind of happened? Or you're not actually sure what your organisation's operations strategy is? It's really hard to pull the rope in the same direction if you're not. Please share your comments on that below. So, 3 of the biggest strategic operations decisions: what to make versus what to buy, where to make or do it, and that all comes from deciding how are you going to compete. So, what's my angle? Well, that's a very personal question. Alright then. Well, alongside offering top-notch training courses on operations management, supply chain, logistics, inventory, performance improvement on my site, rotenstraining.com, I also include a host of loosely relevant bad jokes and funny stories. So, here we go. What does a great competitor and laxative both have in common? They both give you a run for your money.